Deja vu, I have been to this place before, higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. I have been to this place before. This is where the last episode ended, because I record them back to back. That's what my life is now, playing multiple hours, consecutive hours of Minecraft in VR, until my retinas burn, and it hurts so good. It hurts good in my pee-pee. My pee-pee and my butthole. I guess I should fucking get to it. It's not gonna fucking do itself. It's gonna suck. So much monkey penis, which I haven't yet revealed the monkey penis fact for today. I know you're on the edge of your seat. I know you're unzipped and edging. Tantric. You want to know the secret wisdom about monkey penises that I have to reveal to you. It's not that easy, though. You think these eternal truths were just handed to me on a silver platter? You better believe I had to fucking answer some cryptic riddles and fight through a series of ninja challenges to learn any of this. Look, oh god, fucking damn, look how slow that is. Oh, fuck my poopy ass. Oh, why? I missed my super picks so bad. It just kept getting worse from there. Like, once I let that thing get destroyed, I made some iron picks because I thought, surely we live in a just universe presided over by a kindly, benevolent God who would not let me be reduced to using the stone pickaxe. Probably it's going to get worse than this. Like, I used that iron and I made pickaxes, and I'm like, okay, I'll bet you this isn't so bad. I'm going to find diamonds real quick, and then I'll have another pick and I can start enchanting it again. That was like 10 episodes ago. And it didn't get better. It got worse. Somehow. Like, I went from diamond to iron down to stone, and I'm about to probably get reduced to wood somehow. It's supposed to go the other way. The idea of this game is you're supposed to start out with shitty equipment. There's some iron, fucking finally. I'm playing the game backwards. I'm like Merlin. I'm like video game Merlin. If it's sexy Merlin they want, why not give them sexy Merlin? The show must go on. Sexy Merlin, you're not fooling anybody. You're just a mixture of sexy Skeletor and sexy Bane. You sound almost exactly like sexy Orville Redenbacher. I bet you're not even an actual wizard. Well, wizards never existed, son. But if you want an old man to dress up like one for the purposes of erotic pleasure, you're gonna have to cut me a fucking break. Because you know how much money I made off of all that popcorn? I fucking knew it was you, Orville. Yeah, but stay on topic. Not a lot. A lot, you know, lawyers took most of it. So now, like many well-muscled gentlemen in my age group, I seek fucking awesome. Except that I have no iron pick. I need to now find an iron pick for the sole purpose. I have iron. Cool. I'm so close now. Like many gentlemen with physiques like mine in my age group, with salt and pepper hair, which some dames find quite enticing, we get involved in the seedy world of wizard porn, which, as you know, I'm sure, is when elderly but physically fit gentlemen such as myself dress up as wizards and cast various sexy spells upon one another's magical boners. I'm sure you've seen our DVDs. Nobody watches DVD anymore. Oh, of course, I knew that. Blu-rays. You're so fucking out of... Nobody watches Blu-rays. Nobody watches anything on disc. What the fuck are you talking about? If it's not on disc, is it telepathy? And no, it's like digital streaming. It's like Netflix now. Well, naturally, being a sexy wizard from the medieval time period, I wouldn't know anything about that technology. We do it with magic. We have magic porn. That might be a lie. This is all my fucking wasted time and energy and picks. They just went into... And I felt like I had to smelt it, because if I don't smelt it, then I truly did it for nothing. At which point I may as well just light my hair on fire and let it burn me. Let it burn my brain. Nothing of value would be lost. Probably I could get some frat bras to believe it's like a hot new hairstyle. Like how they drink those fucking flaming mojitos or whatever those drinks are. They set them on fire. I don't know. Yeah, anytime now. There you go. What a long, grueling, unrewarding road it has been, truly, in every respect. I'm finally about to have a diamond pick again. If indeed there's even enough diamond in that deposit to make a full pick out of. That remains to be seen, remember. Andesite that's not the color of andesite. I think no, diorite. It can't be. It's got to be granite. Diorite is the one that looks like TV static. Dare ye enter the magical and lewd world of wizard pornography? It's not that I don't dare. It's, I've never really considered that. I'm not saying I couldn't fap to it in a pinch, in like dire circumstances, or to prove a point. Like I could probably do it. I mean, somebody has to. It's like climbing Everest. That's the spirit. We have a new series out where, rather than casting spells upon one another's wizardly boners, and you'd best believe that our pubes are styled into grey wizard beards as well, we instead perform various obscene acts upon mythical beasts, such as unicorns, manticores, and so forth. You could only think of two mythical beasts, huh? Dragon is the third one. It's too late now. You're a fuck up. Be that as it may, they're very convincing. They've got state-of-the-art animatronics, all except for the manticore. It was too large, but we contracted the team behind the Muppets movies to do a Jim Henson's Muppet version of the manticore. It's still quite boner tingling. It's got all the openings you would expect. I don't want to hear this. It's not gross. It's not. It's gonna be gross. There's no way this isn't gonna be gross. No, it's not like a fleshlight. That's what you were thinking, but that's not what's in there. Instead, there are men on the inside. That's even grosser. You said it wouldn't be gross. I don't know what you're fucking going to think is gross. What do you think? I'm some kind of wizard? I only play one for the lewd enjoyment of others. Let me see. What color is... Okay, it's andesite. I keep trying to do it by color, thinking I'm slick. What is this doing here? This is not even andesite. It's gravel. Gravel! Gravel, you silly bitch! You silly bitch! Get out of there! That's not even where you go! This is usually the time of night when I do my prayer for somebody to come along and find and kill me. Just put me out of my misery, because what you're seeing here, you must know this is not life. This is not how humans were intended to live. Just straight up murder me and my life. There was no point to continuing after they invented all those new fucking Pokemon. It's like, you gotta catch them all. Gotta spend all this money, catch all the Pokemon, all 151. Whoops, now there's 1,000 and they're all stupid. It's like, here's an electric dragon with like a TV antenna. But you'll buy it anyway because you gotta catch them all. Okay, this is fucking MK Ultra mind control shit going on here. I didn't even know I had obsidian. What other shit do I not know about that I have? What is this? Gravel. I can't keep my brain focused on anything. What am I talking about? Like, my brain as if it's a possession that I have. I am my brain. I don't want to hear you talking in the comments of, no, your brain isn't you. You're a magic ghost who drives your body around like a radio-controlled car because I'm scared to death. Okay, all of every neuroscientist is wrong because the idea comforts you. All right. Man, I'm fucking kawaii when I yawn. That's a kawaii fucking yawn right there. There's various Japanese businessmen who would pay good money to listen to that yawn. I've already got a metal pickaxe, which I'll only need for all 2 seconds. What was I thinking there? What was my plan? Did I even have a plan? That doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. And my outrageous accent. I mean, seriously. What ethnicity or nationality am I meant to sound like? Nobody talks this way. Except for me, Sexy Bane! Please don't tell me. Oh, no, you can't do that! Oh, thank fucking Cromdar. I was gonna say, how can there only be 2? That should be... I would call the cops if there was only 2 diamonds. And they would fly to Sweden and put Notch in a real jail. Not like a Swedish jail with like hot tubs and sponge baths. That's one of the things I fear about getting like really old, is that you get more feeble, which makes you feel, it drives you to make your life easier and more comfortable, like with mobility scooters and the cushions and circulation wraps and blankets and things. But that makes you weaker. As you get weaker, it makes you want to do things that only exacerbate the problem. And it's like the only way out of this is to be one of those rare old dudes that just never stops exercising. And it gets more miserable to exercise as you get older because it's harder on your joints and you have less energy. But it becomes more crucial to keep exercising if you want your body not to fall apart. I've seen old people with like Olympic athlete bodies. It's possible. I lift. I want that to be me. I don't do any cardio whatsoever, though. My blood pressure is probably awful. I don't check that thing because if I ignore problems, they go away. Shut up. Yes, they do. Mission accomplished. And I think I have enough to make a second diamond pickaxe if I go back to the Nether. And I have to go back to the Nether anyway, just to get my shit. Anyways, now that I have a diamond pickaxe, number 1... Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, you fucking... Oh, fuck! I forgot about him completely. Oh, fuck. Oh, that ruined my day. That ruined my year. That ruined my decade. And it fucking put out the... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do I have a flint and tinder? Or have I, in fact, been stranded in the nether? I'll find out in a second. I have to. OCD. It even blew up part of the ceiling. How the fuck? Why are some blocks so resilient to explosions and other blocks are like wet tissue paper? No, I gotta believe that I put it in the chest upstairs in the smelter, because if I didn't, I'm fucking stuck here. Well, at least if I am stuck here, I'm really well set up. Like, there has never been another person in the history of this game who was better equipped to be trapped in the nether than I am right now. I'll just never be able to expand this place because the only source of materials to build more glass tunnels and shit is the overworld. Nope, I have enough. I have enough to make a flint and tinder. I have enough to... Yeah, I have enough. I can get back. That's almost disappointing. It would have been kind of an adventure to be stuck here. Okay, I gotta get rid of some of this shit. I do not need all this. How would you get back? Because you can't get iron in the nether, can you? If you can't get iron, then you can't get a flint and tinder. If you can't get a flint and tinder, you can't open a portal. Unless there's a source of iron in the nether that I don't know about. An excellent source of iron and 11 other essential minerals and vitamins. Such as monkey semen, which is rich in potassium because they eat so many bananas. I don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need... I need that. Don't need that. Actually, I can just stack that. I don't need that. I need wood. I need some amount of wood. There we go. I'm going to make a second pickaxe just because I don't know when I'm going to have this opportunity again. I could make a shovel. I kind of want to make a shovel. Oh, but if I repair my shovel... It's got Unbreaking 3 on it. It should be fine. But, fuck! It's such a hard decision. Should I repair my shovel and count on being able to enchant my pickaxe later on, which is not guaranteed, or should I just make a second diamond pickaxe? I should keep this on me. That's my backup. Oh, this is difficult. Why is this gotta be difficult? Anyways, I'm gonna make my flint and tinder. This had better not drop me someplace totally different. That has happened before. Oh, I needed that fucking thing, didn't I? I had emergency flint and tinder all along. I'm smart sometimes without intending to be. That's the only time I am smart. Is by accident. Thank goodness. I'm going to leave this here because I don't need flint and tinder very much in the overworld. Where I need it is in the nether for situations like this. Where's it going to put me? This is different, isn't it? Is this the same? No, this is the same portal. So wait, does my underwater portal still connect to the same portal in the Nether, or no? I kind of have to figure that out now. What I'm going to do, as I'm going to my underwater fucking town... I don't know if it's a city. It's not small. It's not big enough to be a city. I'm going to go there. I'm going to try to enchant my pick. And I'm going to see how far I can enchant it and whether it's even worth it to spend the EXP that way. Little lunch on the ocean. Never hurt nobody. We've come so far, potato. We've come so far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and reach up to the stars. I've been meaning to confess my feelings to you, potato. I'm gay for you. I'm gay for you, potato. But we can never be together. Because you have too many carbs. I should play this high. I say the most baffling shit when I'm high. I just went and watched a video of... What was I playing? Oh, I was playing the air car demo. And at one point, I said, alley-oop for the Super Bowl. What the fuck does that mean? It made perfect sense. I remember it making perfect sense in the moment. But like ever since then, I've been trying to figure out what I was thinking at the time. I can't remember what I was thinking. I was like something to do with sports. Like I was imagining a dude, I think, dunking a football, and except that the basketball hoop was also the goal thing from a football field. I can't explain it. Alley-oop for the Super Bowl, of course. Of course, why not? I don't need any of those things. Fuck off. Why can't life be easy? Why has life got to be so ball-bustingly difficult? There's no point to that. It's just going to give me efficiency, and I don't need efficiency. Oh, my throat hurts. As it gets colder, like the thing that gets me is not when my body's cold, but when cold air gets inside of me, like into my lungs. I don't know where it comes from, but immediately, like a bucket of mucus forms. It's the most disgusting thing. I'm going to be a disgusting old man who just coughs up like all kinds of things that should never be outside of my body. They should always stay inside where nobody has to look at them. Let me see how much it would cost to repair my shovel first. Because I need a good shovel, and I think the shovel is enchanted anyway. It is enchanted. I don't want to give that up. Oh, I have to. I have to have a good shovel. I made my choice. I have to live with it now. And I did that because I shovel a lot of sand in the course of making glass. So I need a shovel that's in good shape, and that one already has an enchant on it. I wonder if I can further I already used up my EXP, never mind. Yeah, no, I can't do shit with 10 magic points. It won't let me do it. Doesn't show anything. That fucking sucks. Yeah. I may as well. Right? Okay, whoop-de-fucking-do. It has efficiency 1 on it. That's something. I guess that's something. That's what she said. I'm not even disappointed. At least it's something. Wouldn't that be worse than laughter? I mean, the nightmare scenario for everybody, I assume everybody's like me, is just that you're getting romantic with your significant other. Or with a girl with a girl you just started dating. It's the first time she's going to see your pecker. And you whip it out. And suddenly, out of nowhere, like out of the closet pops a trio of beautiful Japanese stock photo models. And they're laughing amongst one another as they point at your penis. Hee hee hee, hee hee hee, so small, so small. That sounded kind of Italian. So small, so small. But, you know, that sort of thing. It's not that bad. But if she's just like, I guess, isn't that worse? I wonder what that's like. Asking for a friend. Did I do the right thing? It's gonna haunt me. I may as fucking well. I can't even do that. I don't have enough. How much EXP do I have? 1 shy. It figures. So this will mine slightly faster. That's what I got by sacrificing all my EXP. Is I got 1 efficiency upgrade. Then again, like I basically robbed people in order to get all the stacked enchants that were like level 3 that I had on my old pick. So that was never gonna last, and that was all. Those were ill-begotten gains, is what has to be understood. That's much better. Or it's not as good as like the pick I had before would just blaze through this like it's nothing. Like it was made out of cotton candy. I wonder what it would feel like to wrap my dick in cotton candy and have sex with it. Now I can't stop thinking about it. I wonder if there's a circus open near me. But then if you're going to go to the circus, there's clowns anyway. I ain't trifling with no cotton candy fleshlight if there's clown pussy in the vicinity. I'm joking like 50%, but I've seen some pretty enticing clown cosplay. Like there's hot girls who, for whatever reason, want to become... I guess because they want to work around kids. I think kids are cute and they want to make them laugh. Kids are not cute. Kids are horrible little goblins. They just manufacture an endless stream of diarrhea and puke. Like when something's flying out, not flying out one end, something's flying out the other. I think I was an okay kid. I mean, I never had anything interesting to say because I had the brain of a little bab. But as a teenager, I think it was pretty interesting. Like I would regularly I'd make friends with like my teachers, and they would want to discuss stuff with me, and they would think that I was thoughtful and had interesting things to say. Because that's like a stage of life where you're not yet jaded, but your brain is just barely to the point where you are capable of having interesting ideas about things that an adult has not already considered. which is why teenagers typically think they understand everything. Because they have intelligence but not maturity, which is me my entire life. I'm not posturing here. I know what the score is. I wouldn't want to teach high school though. Jesus. Isn't there an anime where Jesus and Buddha are like roommates in college? I think I went and downloaded that, but there was only like 3 episodes, and I got really sad because the premise was so killer. They're founding figures of some of the least shitty religions, which apparently that's fucking taboo. That's the weirdest thing. I have a lot of friends who are anti-religion in general, and they think that's kosher and that's fine, which I agree with. But if you have specific, detailed opinions about which religions are worse, better or worse than other religions relative to one another, then they start to get uncomfortable. They'll say, no, that's bigoted. You're supposed to lump them all together. I'm like, isn't that more bigoted? By ignoring the differences between them and not bothering to learn enough about them in order to have these kinds of informed opinions, isn't that the definition of prejudice? Because you're prejudging them all as being equally shitty without actually having researched them. That's just me, though. Don't take my word for it. Ba-bum-bum! But don't take my word for it. Religions are not all equally bad. There's Jains and Buddhists, which can be shitty sometimes, but most of the time I like whenever they're violent, I read about the reasons for it, and it's because Muslims moved into where they live and have started to kill people. And it's like, okay, you can be the most peaceful motherfucker that ever attained enlightenment, and still, if a bunch of Durkas move into your neighborhood and start, culturally enriching your Buddhist ladies, you're gonna have to do something about that. Like, no matter how nonviolent you'll try to live your life, if the people around you don't live that way, it's something everybody has to participate in, or it doesn't work. So there was a funny article about how some government official in, I think, Dubai said accused an atheist meetup group of terrorism just for existing. Like, literally all they did was post a photograph to advertise their group existed, and it was called a terrorist act that was calculated to hurt feelings. How does he not realize that if all it takes to make him feel deeply uncomfortable about the prospect of his beliefs being true is the mere existence of people who don't believe the same things he does, maybe his belief system is not on very firm ground? Do they not realize how they look from the outside when they do stuff like that? Like, maybe we should act as if our religion is true. How would we act if we were actually certain of it? Because they're not acting that way right now. Makes me feel like on some level, it's like the Emperor's new clothes. They all know it's bullshit, but they have knives at each other's throats, and they all have to pretend they believe it, because it's still in this stage where anybody who admits that they don't believe it is going to get their head cut off. And I know it's a sensitive issue right now because Trump's fucking Muslim travel ban, they're one of his target groups, but that doesn't make them good people. At the same time, I want to clarify, that's one of the useful pieces of advice I got out of a recent discussion about this. It's useful to say up front that if we're talking about terrorism, it's literally only one denomination of Muslims that ever commits those attacks. 99% of the time, it's Wahhabists or so-called Salafists, which are funded. The spread of that specific denomination of fundamentalist Islam is funded by the Saudis, who are U.S. allies. How about that? Because we need their oil. That's what I don't get about conservatives dumping all over electric cars. It lets you make energy where you live instead of buying fuel from the countries that fund the ideology of the people that want to kill us. Why do you not see the obvious utility in being able to drive vehicles that can run off of electricity made any way that you want to? You can make electricity almost any way. You can spin a water wheel. You can spin a wind turbine. You can use solar panels. You can use geothermal. It doesn't fucking... Your car won't care where the electricity comes from. That's not true with fuel. It's really hard to make your own fuel at home. You can do biodiesel, but then you make a very small amount of it per week. It's expensive. The equipment is huge. Compare that to all the different ways you can make electricity at home. I don't understand it. I guess just because it's an environmental thing and they have like keywords in their brain that they associate with liberalism, and liberalism makes them angry because they associate that with opposition to racism, and racism is important to them. They basically side with anybody who they perceive as racist and against anybody that they perceive as anti-racist. Which is 9/10 of how Trump got elected. He's like, hey, I'm racist like you guys. At the same time, they recoil from being called racists, which is the strangest thing. They don't even own it. They played this weird coy game where like, well, you can't prove I am. You can't prove it, but they act in a way that makes it obvious what's going on. I'm going to use this for trash disposal. So you ever watch Jay Leno's Garage? That motherfucker. I'm so jelly. He has a multi-story parking garage full of cars from every era. And I'm an oddball. I don't give a shit about a car if it's not electric, because the whole concept of a car using a combustion engine is kind of depraved to me. Not for like environmental reasons, but you know, from an engineering standpoint, internal combustion engines are retarded. They only exist because of how energy dense gasoline is. In every other way, they're a terrible idea and always were. Electric is the other way around. Electric motors are so incredibly superior. The only reason they didn't dominate everything and stay that way is because batteries were so bad. A lot of people don't realize batteries have been good enough for a long time now. Like, they're like, oh, that's bullshit. What about all those electric cars like the Leaf that only do 80 miles? Well, go look at a cross-section. Look how small the battery is. They didn't cram as much battery in there as would fit. They put as much battery in there as they thought the average person would be willing to pay for. If you actually cram as much lithium battery into an electric car as will fit, what you get is something like the new Roadster, which has a 600-mile range. So the problem is not the technology. Batteries are already energy dense enough that you can get a 600-mile range out of a car if you just design it around fitting as much battery as possible. And that's a better range than many gas cars, because electric motors are 6 times as efficient. People like that just think you're stupid when you predict electric airliners, but it's entirely feasible. There's an electric cargo ship now, a container ship in China that does 50-mile runs up and down a river. And it has a 2.4 megawatt hour battery pack. And that's not even the biggest they could fit in the ship. That's just the size they needed for the 50-mile trip that they wanted to do with it. And it takes 2 hours to charge using, I can't even imagine the voltage of the charger they have to use to fill a battery that's 2. I could do the math, but I'd have to factor in losses. And I would need more information to get a precise figure. But basically, it takes 2 hours to unload the ship anyway. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Diamond, motherfucker! Ba-bum-bum! So it takes 2 hours to unload the thing anyway. So you just charge during that time. Problem solved. And it's a ship, so as you make it bigger, it will actually, you know, the buoyancy increase. Fuck yeah! Increases non-linearly relative to the displacement, I think. So there's no problem with being able to make the weight of the battery pack float. So you could just keep scaling it up and putting more and more battery on there. And it wouldn't be a linear increase of range, because as you increase the size of the boat and the weight, because of all the batteries, you're increasing the mass and you're increasing the drag. So there's like a point of diminishing returns where it doesn't make any sense and it's not worth any money to add more batteries. But we're not anywhere close to that yet. You could conceivably have a fuck-off massive electrically powered ship if you had all the money in the world that would have enough battery mass to cross the ocean. That's entirely doable because it's a ship. You can make it as big as you need to, and it'll float as much as you need it to, because of how incredibly buoyant air is. 6 diamonds. Fuck yeah, and I actually need them anyway. I already need them in order to either repair this pick or make a new one. I may as well just make a new one at this point. I can't believe I found new diamonds that quickly. How could my fortune have been so shitty for the past, like, 11 videos, and then all of a sudden I get all these diamonds all at once? Truly, my brothers, Kromdar works in mysterious ways. Oh, yeah. Not that anybody gives a shit, but Russia, except for me, because of my weird fetish, the Russian Federation, I should say, is building the largest submarine ever to exist. It's going to be larger than the Typhoon class. And for reference, the Typhoon class was one submarine, but it had 2 full-size submarine hulls that were both about the size of an Ohio class submarine hull, next to each other inside of the same body, connected by like corridors between them, just to increase the living space. And it had a small swimming pool that generated current that you could swim against, just so the people who did long tours of duty down there didn't lose their minds. That's how huge it was inside. So imagine how big the new one's got to be. Russia shares my submarine autism, I feel it's safe to say. And officially what this submarine is for is Arctic science. Science is their code word for oil. Like, they're going to extract so much sticky black science, you won't fucking believe your eyes. Anyways, they're going to take this submarine underneath the North Pole, under the ice cap, and it will have everything needed to just hang out there for months at a time. Like, even the smaller nuclear subs in the United States fleet have a mission duration of, I think, 3 months, and it's not limited by fuel. The nuclear fuel in a modern submarine reactor is designed to last the life of the boat without any refuelings. So the newest reactors will go 50 years before they need to be refueled. So that's not the limitation. The limitation is food. They run out of food and they have to go back to port to offload all their garbage and their empty like cans and shit, and get provisions, get more food. So if you have a fucking massive submarine, then you can store more food, and you can stay underwater longer because they have everything else they need. They have a effectively endless power source from the standpoint of human perception of the passage of time. They have, when you have all that energy, you can just make air, fresh air out of seawater, and you can recombine some of that with hydrogen to make completely chemically pure fresh drinking water. You can make heat to keep yourself warm so you don't freeze to death. Be nice and cozy. You can dehumidify the air to keep it dry. You can generate light, obviously. And of course it can generate artificial gravity because there's no gravity underwater. That was a ruse. Did I hecking bamboozle you? Did you pass the test? There's gravity underwater. The point is, when you have nuclear power, the world is your bitch. You can survive anywhere. Because you have so much energy, you can just reconfigure atoms from your surrounding environment into whatever molecules you need in whatever quantities you need. Fresh water, no problem. Light, no problem. Heat, no problem. Fresh air, no problem. CO2 scrubbing, no problem. All taken care of. For 50 years, you could live more than half your life with the way that American lifespans are working out, without ever coming back to the surface, except for the food problem. How do you can't just materialize food. There's no replicators yet. So you have to store it. You have to be able to store, and there's not a lot of foods you can store for longer than no, there are foods you can store for up to 3 years. I think it's 3 to 5 years is the maximum for like the foods NASA uses. So I guess at the high end, you could hope to increase the endurance of a nuclear submarine from 3 months up to a couple of years. Now, who would actually want to live several years underwater continuously besides me? They would have to be pretty fucked up. They'd have to be Russians, basically, which is why it's the Russians that are doing this. Of course they're doing this. Because the inside of a nuclear submarine is nicer than most of Russia for most of the year outside. And it's nicer than the inside of commie blocks. So probably, in fact, they have young Russian men lining up. What they're going to do for pussy is the big question mark. Probably, maybe mermaids. Maybe mermaids really exist, and that's why they're going to need some kind of like big suction port on the front of the submarine that sucks in mermaids for sexual healing. I don't know. I don't know, man. Mysteries. They're not sharing their information with us because we didn't pay for it. Their government paid for it, so they're not going to reveal whatever they learn underneath the North Pole. Maybe they have a base there. China's building their own underwater base. It's kind of shocking it took so long because of how valuable the ocean is in terms of a source of energy and food and metals. Probably the first trillionaires on Earth in history are going to be the guys who monopolize ocean resources. Like, a lot of people say it's going to be the first people to do asteroid mining, but that's not actually possible to do at a profit currently if you're trying to sell to people on Earth. But the ocean is much cheaper to extract resources from and return them to the surface at a profit. You can actually do that at a profit, which is why underwater mining is really happening right now, and asteroid mining is not happening, because you can do one of those things at a profit, but not the other. Sorry, space nerds. Jam a bastard in it. I don't care. That's just the fucking truth of it. We're gonna see the future. The near future is not going to be Star Trek. It's going to be Sequest, except without the talking dolphin. I hope. I hope. I don't want to say without the kid, because the kid was cool. He was like the anti-Wesley. He had cool hair and he had cool lines and did cool stuff. And his actor committed suicide in, I think, 2008. So I don't want to talk shit about him anyway. I think I'm over time, though. Yep, I'm over time. That's all for this time. Click like and subscribe if you want to see more videos of me doing dick all. Although I actually accomplished a good deal in the game this time around. I've repaired all my tools and I have diamond to spare. I'm actually doing pretty fucking good, surprisingly. So next time, now that I have my pickaxe, I think my priority is going to be grinding the nether for nether quartz in order to build my EXP up to where I can put actual good enchants on my tools again. That's going to be my next immediate goal. And then after that, I dread it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to have to be forced to do it kicking and screaming. But I think I'm going to expand off of this trunk here and build a underwater golem farm, because the one thing I always need more of that I can't ever get reliably is iron. The only way to really solve that is to build a fucking golem farm, but I have to do it underwater because this whole base is on the ocean floor. That's kind of my thing. I really have made life difficult for myself once again, haven't I? That's my special talent. Well, besides that thing where I draw faces on my butt cheeks in Sharpie, like monster faces or dinosaur faces, and then I squish them together and make, like I make them fight each other. It's scintillating. Don't knock it till you tried it.